11.2 is ending, midnight is about to get announced any moment now, and we're finally getting conclusions to storylines that were previously only foreshadowed. New information strongly reveals that Xal'atath not only absorbs Dimensius after the battle, but what remains of the world soul of Karesh, and it is indicated she plans to become a new Void Lord. However, with the new Cosmology book, the truth may be much worse than we all anticipate. She's not planning to just eat Azeroth like a glorified pacman, but she seems to want to break an ancient mechanism that would make her more powerful than any being in the universe. Not a Void Lord, but a Void Emperor. So, what is going on and what is everything we currently know? If you wanted anything Warcraft related, Gamido has the best deals on the market that you can get with my link below. You can get almost every other game's software, and they also just added mobile top-ups for all your favorite mobile games with the craziest prices. You can also use my code Doron to get yet another discount, so click my link and get the best deals at Gamido. So by now you've probably seen most of the Karesh storyline as the patch is out, and really we've had a story for the past few months or so through the PTR, and I've covered this a few times in the previous videos. However, we're constantly getting new information, and now 11.2 is ending, 11.2.5 might be on the PTR any day now, and most importantly, in just a week after this video, we're getting the midnight announcement, so I think we'll finally get a full confirmation on what is actually going on, what the real plan of Xal'atath is, because Xal'atath has been messing with us since Legion. It's been 10 years, and she's constantly one step ahead, and I think it is really about the time for her to spill the beans and reveal what she is planning. Now, the new info from a few days back is in regards to Karesh and how it seems to be returning back to life. Nature, for some reason, seems to be healing. Karesh is glowing a bit. Life actually appears outside of the ecodomes, which is absolutely insane because the planet is literally a few rocks floating around the cosmos, and the entire planet was shattered at least 100,000 years ago, which is a crazy timeline, which indicates that the world soul is still around. Now, super long story short, and I'll try to keep this really brief because I've got full videos covering this from the PTR information. We've learned what happened to Karesh. It wasn't as simple as we previously believed, as the Ethereals defending themselves from Dimensius, the magics getting to them. There was some of that, but the new reveal is that they had destroyed their planet on purpose in order to defeat Dimensius. There is a new interesting artwork showing the old form of the Ethereals, in a way not really full form, and Karesh back in the day, as we've learned, was a desert planet with two suns and various city-states existing. Dimensius invaded, they managed to unite, they fended him off with magics that eventually started destroying their forms. Here, kinda out of nowhere, Xal'atath actually united with a group of Ethereals, who weren't Ethereals back then, they were just a very intelligent race known as the Kadeshi. The big lore reveal that we've learned is that Xal'atath used to be similar to them and was from some unknown planet that Dimensius also shattered her planet in long before this, so she literally may be one of the longest living mortals, but I don't even really think she's a mortal anymore. She's in fact very similar to Kil'jaeden, for example, that used to be a mortal, used to be Eredar, but ultimately turned into a full-on demon. Now, it appears that Xal'atath never really liked Dimensius, which obviously makes sense since he destroyed her planet, and she found Karesh as the perfect opportunity to backstab him, to betray him, and she helped the Ethereals blow him away while taking their powerful artifacts, the so-called Reshi ribbons. Despite blowing their planet away, which was dying anyway since Dimensius actually consumed the sun, the plan kind of failed and they managed to blow him away into a million different pieces, but they didn't really destroy him. We eventually ran into one of the fragments on Outland back in TBC, which means little bits of Dimensius were floating around the cosmos for over thousands of years, and just like probably hundreds of thousands of years since Karesh was destroyed. This indicates that Xal'atath has been independent for a really long time. She hasn't served the Void Lords in ages. In fact, she was working on her own goal, and almost certainly her entire presence on Azeroth, which happened later, wasn't as an enforcer for the Void Lords as we previously believed, but in fact as a third faction of the Void doing her own thing. We previously learned from the Void it is super chaotic, hierarchy works really weird. It's not like the Titan Pantheon where they just follow the main guy. 11.2 reveals that Dimensius himself had actually devoured two Void Lords, which made him super strong. He wasn't just a regular Void Lord. So these Void guys can't wait until they backstab backstabbed each other and their masters, which is exactly what Xal'atath did. Now Xal'atath got worried here because the Ethereals that we just learned actually served her, the Shadow God, betrayed her in 11.1 and took the Dark Heart to Dimensius, and now she had to unite with us to defeat him, because if he came back, he would come for Azeroth and her as well. Everyone, and literally everyone, knew that this alliance wouldn't last longer than 5 minutes and that she would betray us on the first moment that she could, and that is pretty much exactly what she did. This still isn't 100% clear in the game, we'll probably figure it out in a few days, but Xal'atath seemingly consumes Dimensius at the end of the patch into her Dark Heart artifact, and there is an indication that she also consumes what remains of Karesh's World Soul as well. We have dialogue from Illyria after this that says we need to stop her, we can't let her become a new Dimensius Soul Devouring, which strongly indicates that this might in fact be her end goal, to become a Void Lord herself, and if she consumes a guy that consumed other 2 Void Lords, takes the World Soul, comes for Azeroth, she is going to be insanely powerful. Now, big thing that literally no one is talking about for some reason is the new cosmology chart we've just learned from the Ethereals in 11.2. I've got a full video on this, but the info is essentially this. I mean, cosmological powers work as like a totem pole, and high energy planes like the Twisted Nether can easily go down the pole, while low energy planes like the Void take a lot of new energy to go up. This explains why we constantly saw demon invasions, but we didn't really see void invasions on nearly the same scale. It also explains why it is easy to access the Death Realm from the Life Realm, but it is hard to return if you actually fall into the Death Realm, if you actually die. This new book also indicates that Azeroth's World Soul mechanism is probably holding this entire thing in place, and that the entire cosmology is actually based around it. So I don't think Xal'atath's plan is as simple as like a giant pacman where she consumes a few sources to become a big and even bigger Void guy. I don't think the goal is as simple as becoming a Void Lord and then consuming Azeroth to become an even more powerful one. I think she plans to break this mechanism, and it was indicated that whoever shatters it pretty much takes the whole thing. See, the universe seems to work as like a cycle. There was actually someone enforced it, probably the first ones, where low energy realms benefit because they get the influx of energy from the upper ones in this entire thing, so the life and death cycle for example, and this kind of maintains the status quo. Everyone is essentially surviving, but no one is getting too powerful. However, if someone were to just break it, one force of the 6 would become dominant, and they would consume the others, and they would become significantly more powerful, 6 times more powerful. So the point is, if Xal'atath was to succeed, she wouldn't be the new Dimensius, she would be 10 times more powerful than Dimensius, more powerful than Sargeras or any other being we had previously encountered. And I think the entire plot of Midnight, why she is coming and why she's bringing her Void army, is that Azeroth is not just another Karesh planet, but more powerful. Azeroth is the World Soul and the engine of the whole mechanism, very likely. This pretty much explains why everyone has been coming for our planet and why we have been getting invaded pretty much all throughout our history. Some guys just brute force invade like Sargeras and his Burning Legion, while others like the Titans are trying to gaslight us. They pretend like they are the saviors while building prisons and mechanisms to turn the engine to their side. The Void is kind of in between, maybe not as outright as Sargeras and his legion, but they're definitely not even slightly pretending to be coming as our friends or saviors. They're definitely coming to dominate. So the short answer is she is becoming a new Void Lord, but not in the traditional sense. I think the plan is really to become something like a Void Emperor, the most powerful Void being that ever existed, and that is going to be a lot worse than what the Ethereals had experienced back when Dimensius invaded. After all, Xal'atath has been working on this for over 100,000 years, and finally things are falling into place. Thanks for watching. Check out my new video on the potential zone that could come in Midnight Northrond and what is going on with the Blood Elves by clicking on the screen, and also check out my video on the Roman Empire that I've recorded live on site in Malta by clicking on the screen as well. See you next time!